On behalf of the faces of mental illness, present, past, and future, I stand here to thank you as a group. Thank you for accepting us who we are as people and not shunning us for who we are diagnosed with as patients. You see, if you think I'm lazy because I have a mental illness, that is called judgment. If, after meeting me and getting to know me as a human being and a person, you think I'm lazy, that's called accurate. 6 suicide attempts. That's what I have done. 6 suicide attempts, which tells me 2 things. 1, I am far from lazy. And 2, I'm so glad that 7 is my lucky number. I did that joke one time and a lady yelled out, what are you talking about suicide? Suicide's a dirty word. In front of 1,000 people at one of my fundraisers, she stood up and yelled, suicide's a dirty word. I said, suicide's not a dirty word. It's dirty because you make it dirty. Suicide is nothing more than a long-term solution to a very short-term problem. She yelled out, would you ever try it? I said, 6 times, I'm not very good at it. She goes, were you ever successful? What? What? I'm bipolar. I'm OCD. I'm ADD, which you think ADD and OCD would cancel each other out, but apparently not. They don't. So now I get completely and utterly fixated on things for about 2.5 minutes until something shinier comes along. My son is ADD. Attention deficit disorder. I can't just say ADD anymore because during a TV taping a number of years ago, I had a gentleman yell out, that's an alarm system. Pardon me? ADD is an alarm system. I said, no, that's ADT. He goes, what's the difference? I said, huge. You don't want attention deficit disorder alarms, let me tell you that right now. There's somebody in my house and he's got a knife. I got a blue bike. My dog's name is Kevin. Bye. What? And I had to have a meeting with my son's teacher because he's so ADD, which is weird because a lot of people realize after they meet their teachers that some people are teachers because they like to take and shape and mold young minds and make a difference in a young child's life, and some other people are teachers because being a Nazi is illegal. Now, my son's teacher was not the patient kind that an ADD child needs. She was the other one, and I'm having a conversation with her, and she comes right up to me. Your son has attention deficit disorder. Do you know what that means? Hereditary. What? Hereditary. And then she said to me, and what do you have to say about that, huh? And I couldn't resist. I just looked at her and went, you have a very shiny watch. And I got a blue bike. Quack, quack. They say that twice as many women suffer from a mental illness than men. That's not true. It's just twice as many women are more apt to talk about it. Women have a support group. It's called Women. I've seen this how many times? Look at the way she's dressed for this event. Can you believe she's talking? Look at her. You know what she said about, oh, she's crying. Or, oh, come here. You're okay. You're with me. Guys can't even focus on our own emotions, let alone those of our friends who walk in. Hey, you want to go fishing? I'm really sad. I think I'm going to kill myself. See you tomorrow. You know, that's how we work. Meds play a very good and important part of my life, and people are afraid to go on meds. Any of the PAM family, Clonazepam, Lorazepam, I don't know who makes them, but keep making them because they're the most amazing. They're a tiny little thing about the size of an ant's foot, hey? They're tiny little, but they work perfectly. You're like anti-anxiety, you're like, I can't do this, I don't think I'll... Puff the magic dragon. Lithium, I'm not, the guy said to me, you should go on lithium. Lithium is amazing. You should go on lithium. Lithium will straighten you right out. You should be all over the place. I used to be all over the place. Now I straighten you right out. You should go on lithium. I'm like, okay, you're the doctor. I go on lithium. It made me gain 40 pounds I can't seem to lose, but I did lose most of my hair and my sex drive. He goes, are you happy? Yeah, you know, for a bald, fat, flaccid fella, I seem to be doing okay. Lithium just makes me gain the weight, so when I go to hang myself, I snap the rope. I think it's a self-preservation. Now, you see what happened there? That's a funny, funny joke. I don't care what anybody says. But what happened there is you all started to laugh at it, and then you went, that's a suicide joke. Don't laugh at that. That's crazy talk. Laugh at a suicide. And then you realize I'm bipolar. You don't want to send me in a suicidal swing. You're like, okay, we'll laugh. That's okay. What you just did was rapid cycling. Thank you for proving my point. Nice to put an ADD guy up here to tell jokes when there's cake coming. My son just announced the other day he wants to be an auctioneer. Which is, yeah, thank you for, does everybody remember my son's particular affliction by any chance? Yeah, his attention deficit disorder. I don't know what kind of auctioneer that's going to be, but I'm going to be there every day to find out. We're looking for 25 to go anywhere, 25 in the back. We got 25 and 25 and 30, 30, 30, 35. We got 30 and 35 anywhere, 35 and 35 and 40. We got 35 and 40 and looking for 40 anywhere, 40 when I like blue. Blue's my favorite color. I had a blue bike when I was a kid. I had a blue bike. It was my favorite bike. It was a great bike. I like blue. I like blue so much I named my dog Blue. He wasn't a blue dog. That wasn't even a sad dog. It was just a blue dog. It was a blue dog. It was yellow, yellow, blue make green, yellow, blue make green. Green's not a frog. It's a frog color. Frog and a hop and a bark and a hop and a bark and away we go. I like pudding. Pudding, pudding, pudding. I wish I knew where pudding is. I love pudding so much. The other day I had a big bowl of yellow pudding. It wasn't yellow pudding. It was mustard. I had a big scoop and it was mustard and I didn't like it. It was a scoop and a yuck and a scoop and a yuck and a scoop and a yuck and I don't know what it is. I wish I knew where the bid is. I wish my dad was here because he's 40. 40 the bid. 40 the bid in the back and a 40 minute full circle. And away we go. Sold to the guy with the obsessive compulsive disorder. Why do you talk about suicide? Suicide's a dirty word. Why do you talk about suicide? I talk about suicide openly as often as I can. Why? Because if it angers you, you're going to talk about it even more. Talking is knowledge. Knowledge is education. Education is prevention. And we prevent the #1 killer of teens today in Canada. It's so very important to me. I felt sorry for myself often. And I thought, why did the good Lord of the universe give me these problems to handle? Why did they give them to me? Why me? And then my son, who's 13 now, is about probably 11 at the time, came up to me and said, Dad, do you ever feel like not being here? I said, what, you mean here or at Mom's place? What do you want me? No, just alive. And I realized in that moment of clarity that the good Lord gave me these ailments that I have so that my son does not have to go through the same things that I do, and if he does, he never has to do it alone. I lost my mother 3 days ago. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when she was in her 70s because she was afraid to go get the help. She was afraid to go out of the house. We thought this was normal. That's what I grew up with. I grew up with a lot of shh, don't, shh, no, shh, shh, shh. You know what sh starts? We all know what SH starts, and it's the most important word in the language when it comes to this, is all the crap that people put on us. Don't judge me for who I am, or what I are, or the illnesses I have. See me, meet me, understand. I'm a little bit crazy, but I'm crazy in a good way. Good. Just to let you know, the good Lord made me 3 things. #1, suicidal. #2, a procrastinator. And #3, attention deficit disorder. What a great combination to have. My life sucks and I'm going to kill myself right now, but I don't got any rope, so I guess I'll get that tomorrow or the next day. Hey, the Flintstones are on! It's time to give stigma a bad name. I thought I was going to have to do this alone or with very little support, but judging from the people in this room in this campaign, I'm not alone. Unless, of course, this is some sort of psychotic, manic episode. As long as I still have my pants on. Thank you very much for listening to me.